In 1945, at the end of World War II, Kichi Shikishima, a kamikaze pilot, feigns technical issues with his plane and lands on Odo Island. A dinosaur-like creature, Godzilla, appears during the night and attacks the island, killing everybody except Kichi and the lead mechanic, Sasaku Tachibana, who blames Kichi for the deaths of the others. 2 years later, after the war, following his return to Tokyo, Kichi is plagued by survivor's guilt. He has started a relationship with Noriko Yishi and they have adopted a child whose parents were lost in the bombing of Tokyo. Godzilla is mutated and enlarged by the U.S. nuclear tests at Bikini Atoll, and it destroys several U.S. warships before heading for Japan. The U.S. refuses to aid Japan owing to tensions with the Soviet Union. Working aboard a minesweeper called the Shinsei Maru, Kichi meets scientist Kenji Noda. The minesweeper's crew are tasked with stopping Godzilla's approach to Japan. They release a mine into Godzilla's mouth and detonate it, but Godzilla regenerates from its injury. The heavy cruiser Toho then arrives and engages Godzilla, but is subsequently destroyed when it unleashes its atomic breath. Kichi tells Noriko about Godzilla's attack, expressing his survivor's guilt to her. Godzilla makes landfall, attacking Ginza in Tokyo. Noriko witnesses the attack, while Kichi attempts to rescue her. Meanwhile, the Japanese military attempts to engage Godzilla, but it fires its atomic breath, decimating Tokyo and seemingly killing Noriko among thousands of others. While Godzilla returns to the ocean, Kenji comes up with a plan to kill Godzilla, although the government refuses to help, leaving it up to the remaining civilians and naval veterans to enact it. Kichi recruits a reluctant Sasaku to repair a broken-down prototype Kyushu J-7W Shinden fighter, which Kichi will fly into Godzilla's mouth and destroy it from the inside. Meanwhile, Kenji plots to destroy Godzilla by surrounding him with Freon tanks and rupturing them, lowering the water's buoyancy and sinking it to a depth of 500 meters, letting the resultant pressure crush it. Should that plan fail, balloons would be inflated under Godzilla to force it back up to the surface, killing it through explosive decompression. Godzilla is dragged down to 500 meters but manages to survive. The balloons are activated, forcing Godzilla up to 800 meters, but it manages to break free. 2 ships try to haul Godzilla to the surface but don't have enough power to do so. A fleet of tugboats lend their assistance and Godzilla is brought to the surface, injuring but not killing it. Enraged, Godzilla prepares to destroy all of the ships with its atomic breath. Kichi flies the plane into Godzilla's mouth, destroying its head and overloading its atomic breath, which destroys the rest of its body. The crew assumes Kichi sacrificed himself to stop Godzilla's atomic breath but look above to find that he has survived. They cheer and salute him, knowing he ejected from the plane. Back at the port, Kichi receives a telegram and heads to the hospital with Akiko, where he reunites with Noriko, who survived the destruction, albeit with what appears to be radiation sickness. Meanwhile, a chunk of Godzilla's remaining flesh sinks to the bottom of the ocean and begins to regenerate.